Hello everyone. So the Battle of Olympus event just dropped 35 minutes ago. So I just want to get in, do a few games of the new free-for-all event. But I also first I want to go over patch notes. The new seasonal mode, Battle for Olympus free-for-all. In this free-for-all deathmatch mode, battle for the throne of Olympus as 7 powerful gods and monsters from Greek mythology, each with a unique divine power that kicks in when they use their ultimate ability. Most valiant contenders in the Battle for Olympus will have the chance to earn limited time voice lines and player titles to brag about their accomplishments for all eternity. At the end of the event, those whose powers were used to secure the most eliminations across all matches will be crowned the new ruler of Olympus. A little thing here for competitive: the 2023 season of competitive capture flag begins on January 10th. We found the competitive play menu and the competitive play loading screen has been updated. Right, this is a little buff for Junker Queen. The Adrenaline Rush now heals for remaining wound damage when an enemy dies with wounds on them. That's insane. That's crazy. Carnage is now cooldown reduced by 2 seconds for each enemy it impacts, that's crazy. That's actually crazy. Jagged Blade, thrown impact damage reduced from 80 to 50. Thrown direct impacts now add a 30 damage wound to the stuck target. Stacks with wounds caused by quick melee or returning Jagged Blade hits. That's insane. They just have to buff and Junker Queen through the roof, and I love it. I'm here for it because I love Junker Queen so much. She's such a great tank, and I think she's so slept on. Zarya, energy degeneration reduced from 2.2 to 2 per second, and delay before energy degeneration begins after gaining energy increase from 1 to 2 seconds. That's just on our bubble. Brigitte getting health increase from 250 to 300 on her shield, and Moira, her biotic orb, now restores a small amount of biotic energy with the damage orb. A few little bug fixes on maps, and that's all we have. Well, I'm now going to get on to the gameplay of the new game mode, and I'll tell you how I feel about it. Right, so the first thing I would like to go over is how the game mode works. So the game mode works just like your average deathmatch, first to 20 wins, but you can only play the select 7 characters. Now just to quickly go over again how each character works. Ramatcher, when he pops his ult, his vortex picks enemies up, and it doesn't last forever. It only does last, I think it's 14 seconds, but I'm pretty sure every character gets a little more health and damage when they pop their ult. Reinhardt, after he uses his shatter, gets a charge buff for about 20 seconds, I think, where he can pin multiple enemies at a time and do a ton of damage with his pin. Now getting on to Lucio. Lucio is a little speed demon. As we've seen in the trailer, his boop does stun people when he smacks them into walls, and when he pops his ult he gets super fast and does a ton of damage, and he's just insane. Junker Queen, as again we've seen in the trailer, when she uses her ult she strikes people with lightning. When she commanding shouts, she strikes people with lightning. When she shoots people, she strikes people with lightning. Jagged Blade also strikes people with lightning. She just strikes people with lightning. She's insane. Roadhog's ult makes him bigger in size, and he just shoots boulders instead of the bunch of scrap he shoots when he does Whole Hog. Now, moving on to Pharah. Pharah doesn't actually heal. That animation played around the screen is buffing her health. She gets a health buff to 300 when she uses her ult. I think so do Lucio and Widowmaker, just to compensate for them being squishy characters, and she can move when using her ult and then fires 3 rockets for the duration that the effect is on. And then last we have Widowmaker, who turns people to stone when scoped in on them when using her ult. She also gets a little bit of a health buff as well, and I think maybe a damage buff. But yeah, that is all 7 characters and what their new abilities are for the game mode. Talking about the gameplay, some matches can feel very one-sided. Sometimes, depending on the map you're playing on, can feel very unbalanced depending on the person you pick. Like I had a game where most people just picked Pharah and trying to play either Junker Queen, Ramatcher, Reinhardt, or anyone else that wasn't Pharah. It was really hard to get anywhere. That being said, I did win that game, and I did do pretty well. But a lot of the games, they can feel really one-sided depending on the character and the map. For instance, Ilios Ruins, Lucio just dominates that map. Because there's so much stuff to run and jump off and push people off the edge. And with him having his stun, it makes him very powerful. So I sometimes find it hard to get anywhere in the games, but the game mode is fun. It is genuinely a little enjoyable experience. It's just sometimes it can feel a little one-sided. Getting on to the rewards for the event, we have obviously the free Mercy skin. We also have a bunch of name cards, or these are titles, never mind. We have titles and voice lines. Some of the titles are really cool. Like, I think my favorite is Zeus's favorite child. I think that's a really cool one, and the Poseidon one is pretty sick as well. But I just want to talk more on the patch. Now, this is supposed to be our mid-season patch. They did say there would be a little bit more coming because this is a very light patch. But as I said, Junker Queen has gotten like a mega buff. Like, Junker Queen has been buffed through the roof, and it's insane. And then the little support buffs. The Moira one is probably great, and the Brigitte one I feel makes up for the loss of her stun. I do find playing Brigitte that her shield is destroyed very, very quickly. But I think the big thing people are going to realize with this patch is that Sojourn and Roadhog were not addressed. Not addressed at all. I'm hoping that this will be in an upcoming patch. As I did say, they did say this is a light patch. They will be doing more. So I'm really, really, really hoping Roadhog and Sojourn get addressed in the near future. Another thing I also want to talk about now, it's just the shop. The hype for the event is all around the Greek skins and the Greek mythology, the Greek-based game mode. But most of the skins that you get to play as in the event are all super expensive in the shop. For instance, the Reinhardt skin. I love the Reinhardt skin, and the spray that comes with it is really, really cool. But it's 20 quid. I'm not gonna spend 20 quid for the skin and spray. I'm not gonna do it. As much as I like it, I'm just not gonna do it. And I know we have a free Greek skin, and it's a Greek skin I don't have and I really like, but the fact that we were throwing an old Overwatch 1 skin for free is kind of scummy. Another thing that I think needs to be addressed here is in this Lucio bundle, the Winged Sandals weapon charm has a battle pass icon. You can go look at the charm itself for Lucio on Lucio's hero gallery, and it even says there that it is available in the battle pass. What this looks like, it's like Blizzard had this originally planned for the battle pass and just said, nah, f it, we're gonna make people buy it. And the fact that they couldn't even change the icon, or somehow missed that they forgot to change the icon before the charm went out into the shop, is mind-blowing. Another thing I want to talk about is how much this Roadhog victory pose and highlight intro bug me. That is the hook for the Cyclops skin. Why it doesn't change to the hook of the skin you have playing, I don't get it. It's like they just modeled it with just the hook for the Cyclops skin. Why they couldn't have just switched out the hook and made it sort of universal, it bugs me. I'd say it bugs Roadhog players who have Roadhog gold and they don't get to see their gold hook played in the highlight intro. It just screams lack of like quality control, and it really bothers me. And then obviously the other thing that just bothers me is just the price of all this. I'm not gonna pay 22 quid for this Widowmaker skin. It's a great skin, I love it, it's very pretty, and it's a really, really cool skin, but I'm not gonna pay that much for it. Maybe that's just me coming from playing Overwatch for like 6 years, but the whole enjoyment of these events was to get in and play for the skins you wanted, and now it just kind of feels like there's nothing to really go play for, especially since we're being handed an old Overwatch 1 skin for free. It's not even one of these skins we're being handed for free. It's an old Overwatch 1 skin that I'm going to say a lot of people already have. Some people might have even bought it in Overwatch 2. Maybe it appeared in their shop and they already bought it. again, it all just comes back down to bringing loot boxes back. I really do think loot boxes should be brought back just to be played for, not even being able to buy them. Just, you know, being able to earn them for free. Bring back the leveling system so people can earn coins every time they level up something. And I could sit here and say, oh, but the game is free and they need to make money. But no, they are choosing to do it this way, and they can change it. So it does bother me quite a bit. And then the last thing that I just want to say that bothers me is that this could have been our battle pass. This could have been the battle pass that we got for this season. Because they release a event that is, you know, themed around what our battle pass is, you know, with the Zeus and Poseidon and Hades. We could have had all these skins in the battle pass. I think that would have attracted a lot more people to actually buy the battle pass if all these skins had been placed in there. It should have been the battle pass we got. So the way they're going to go from the future, I don't know, but I really hope they start making better changes to the way they're monetizing the game, because I don't think the game is going to last very long if they keep going the way they're going. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to wrap this video up. If you did enjoy the video, please consider subscribing. It does help quite a bit. Check out my Instagram. I post all my artwork there. Overwatch art, Apex art, any other art that comes to mind. But yeah, that's all I've got to say for this one.